Hi, welcome to this episode of Game Creation. So today we're going to be looking at how you can surf the internet within Clickteam. So this is part of our fortnight of not talking about games at all, but talking about other things that Clickteam can do. I think this video is going to be quite a short one because the object we're doing today, unless you're building, well, we'll talk about it later, but I can't go very deep into it because I'd have to design a website that works with it, etc. So we're going to go a little bit skin deep, but that's okay. If you've got any suggestions of other things you want me to cover, I have no idea what I'm going to cover in the next 4 days. So make a comment below and I will look at covering it. I think this has been a really great fortnight. So maybe, in a year or two, I'll do this again. So if you're watching these videos way in the future, maybe keep the comments coming in. And I'm sure we'll have another week like this or a fortnight like this again, and I can do all of the other extensions. I think my favourite video last week was the Lua video on Friday, and if you haven't seen that, go back and watch that because that is inspirational for me. And actually, I want to do the whole week on just Lua scripts, but I'm gonna try and move back from that. Maybe we'll do that in a while's time. But anyway, let's look at the object we're going to look at today. So I've already pre-populated this with for web because it's a Webview object. A lot of you might not know that you've got your own little browser. I don't actually know what the back end of this is, whether I assume it's WebKit rather than Chromium, although I don't know whether Chromium is WebKit. I think WebKit's Firefox and Chromium is Chrome and Edge. But I would imagine that's the case. I don't know whether they have a description. Ironically, it doesn't work. That's hilarious. We're suggesting Bing anyway. So the Webview object within the Webview object help doesn't actually work. Okay. Anyway, thankfully the Webview object does because I tested it just now, just in case. So how do we load a website? Well, we're just going to do a quick starter frame, and you literally just put load URL, and I'm just going to put in Google just because it's kind of the default, isn't it? Mr. W. And notice you don't need to put the HTTP in. It will work without the HTTP. So if we run it, there we are. There's Google. You might get a screen saying about cookies and stuff first, especially if you're in the EU. But that's it. And you can just navigate it. So, I don't know, game creation. I'm not going to be there at all. It's really sad. Could be under videos. This is when I get panicky. Oh no, I'm not even there. Right, let's put quote marks around it. Come on, we can get there. So game creation in quotes. Oh, not images, on videos. That's really sad. What about Tetris? Because I did a Tetris clone. Create using Java. That's really sad. Might have missed me. No, I'm not there at all. Am I not even in there? This channel is called Game Creation, right? Oh, it's all one word. Why has it put a space in? Did I put the space in? Come on. Yay! There we are. Wicked. I was wondering why that didn't work. Anyway. And so what can you do with it? Well, I'm not going to do them because they're all pretty self-explanatory, but first of all, you can load HTML. So this is really, really useful if you've written your terms and conditions or your instructions for the game in HTML, but you don't want the game to have to be online. So you can save that HTML file into your game folder file, and then you could just use this object to parse the HTML. And HTML is really easy to style things, to make things look really nice. You can add functionality with JavaScript, so you can have actions and stuff. And it's just a really great idea to have a help file in HTML because it will be really nice. And everyone's got a browser, or almost everyone's got a browser that can read it. So you don't have to use a PDF, which they might not have Adobe to open PDFs, etc., etc. Although that's not quite the case these days because all browsers open PDFs. But you know what I mean. And PDFs aren't as nice as HTML. So navigation, you can go forward, back, stop, refresh, and all that good stuff. I think this is if you have if you create a website for your game, or actually if you just create an HTML file, and you've got a function that you want to run at a certain time on the website, you can call that JavaScript function, and I think we use that with the get object, I believe. But it's really, really useful if you want your game to talk to the HTML. So that's really good. Then you can just control the size of it and resize it. Set inline HTML5 playback. I think that's for HTML5 video. And set user agent. Now this is really funny because you might think that it'd be easier for a web developer to know what device you're on and what browser you're using, because it's actually quite useful to know, because there's things on Chrome that you can't do on Firefox, and they've converged a lot more, but they used to be, with Internet Explorer, used to be awful. So what you used to be able to do is, or what you used to want to do, is sniff out what user agent the person was, but actually ended up that all of the browsers just randomly say that they're someone else, and just the whole system is horrendous, and that's to stop tracking. So it's like for privacy. So here you can say that you're using Chromium or using Chrome or Edge or whatever, but you're not. So I don't know why you'd ever need that, but it's there. And then load local document. I don't know what the difference between load local document and load HTML is. I assume they sort of do the same thing. Don't really know what the difference there is. And then you've got some nice scrolling options, the zoom option, which could be quite good. And you can also grab image, but there are other tools that do that, so I probably wouldn't use this object just to do that. And you can muddle with the website. You can add your own HTML code to it, which is quite cool. So this is quite a nice object, and you can imagine if you, as I said, if you've had like some terms and conditions, you can have a button that says, in fact, let's code that now, it shouldn't be too long. So on your game, you can have a button, because it is tedious to use Clickteam to write like long things of text. So we could have T and C's, and then we could have, what's happened there? Obviously the ampersand is a special character, so let's write T and C's. I didn't know that ampersand was a special character when using text in buttons, but there we go, we learn something new every day. And replace that for on click button, wherever it is, button clicked. And so you can imagine that we've got a URL to a website that has our terms and conditions on, or a local file, and then you click that and it just loads up. So, and you've got all the interface, all the scrolling, everything's done for you here. And actually, it's a job that would have taken like hours and hours and hours of formatting and making it look nice. And it takes 2 seconds, just write a bit of HTML. And HTML is not hard. It's a learning curve, but it's not like writing C or Visual Basic or like anything like that. It's standard stuff that you just need to learn that every text goes in a tag, and the tag you can just put styles on it to make it look nice. So if you want to change the color of the text, you just write color semicolon red to make it red. If you want to change the background, you do background semicolon black or whatever. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I feel I'm rambling, and whenever I'm rambling, that's not good for video, I'm told. So keep the comments coming in. If you like the video, click the like. If you want to see more from us, click subscribe. And as I said, please keep suggestions coming in. You are all way too kind and asking me to do my own thing, and you're happy with whatever I do. I'm telling you now, I have run out of inspiration. Inspire me, please. Send a comment in of what, like an object that I can cover in a quick 10-minute video this week that's nothing to do with games but is really interesting. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. Thank you.